Hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last year and change, and continuing on because the daily stream streak remains strong, I'm here to open my office doors to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or metaphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for approximately the next hour for some general Q&A following today's stream subject. But before I begin, a little bit of housekeeping. Lone Claw! Congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Sleepless Dragon, Amber, Blue Phantom, Puppet Boy, Rune, Cypher's Girl, and Captain Gilbert. Everyone here, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. And furthermore, Steven Universe Fan, Opal the Susimp, Blanery Real, Dizzy the Alien, Kelmsford Invictus, Minty Andrea, and X Gamer. Welcome to today's stream. Thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today just for being you. Now, reminder, today's stream is sponsored by the Site Director Edition Dr. Sherman plushie. You have 11 days remaining to pre-order this plushie before it is gone forever. It is available at the link in our bio. It is available in the pinned link in the chat, description for the VOD. Desk will be sharing it in the stream chat as well. And if for some reason you are completely unable to click on links, you may go to beacons.ai/site42, which as always is the Site 42 support beacon. It is where we share upcoming SCP projects that we are supporting, SCP merchandise, as well as all of our social medias, so you can follow us here and elsewhere. Thank you to the scpstore.org and Plush Foundry for helping us make a cool plushie. Now, for those of you who have said, I asked and I can't buy your plushie, Intern Luigi, do not fret, I am sorry that you will not have a cool plushie in your life. But remember that you are all able to support Site 42 outside of simply donating and or purchasing merch. As long as you are here watching the streams, asking questions, chatting, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, all the YouTube business, and as long as you're doing the same, for the SCP projects we support, the SCP Wiki and its authors and artists, the filmmakers, the game devs, the animators, podcasters, merch makers. When you help the artists of the SCP community, when you give them engagement and or financial help, you are getting them to hang out more in the SCP community. We won't be able to get big budget films and or AAA games because the big companies that run them don't want to deal with the SCP Foundation's Creative Commons license. But I thoroughly believe that as a community, we can rally and we can help these artists make some damn fine things without the big corporations. But that's only possible because of you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. And so I greatly thank you for your service. Now, today's stream subject is quite simple. I will get to all of the donations and general Q&A afterwards. As I said, we have about an hour of stream today. But today's stream subject. Today marks the ending of This Is My JamCon. Are you unfamiliar with This Is My JamCon? Well, let's take a quick look. This Is My JamCon was a contest on the SCP database, a music-themed writing event for all the wiki to share in one another's music tastes, with a little competition on the side. Contestants will submit any song of their choice along with the musical genres they like, and will then be matched to a song from another contestant. It's your job to write an article based on that song, utilizing its themes, content, or motifs to craft something new. It can be an SCP, a group of interest format, or anything in between as long as the influence of the song is present and accounted for. Prizes will be awarded to the 3 highest rated articles at the end of the convention. Now, as for the schedule, I have already said, the competition is over, and the results are live. And so now for the next couple of days, we are going to go over some of those sweet, sweet This Is My JamCon submissions. And we're going to do them in descending order of ranking. So we're going to be starting at the top. The track list / results. We're starting with SCP-9757 by J. Dune, which won with a staggering 175 upvotes, a full twice as much and change as the second place upvote total. A large-scale victory for J. Dune. And so, we are going to take a look at J. Dune's article today. I do not believe we'll have time for more than one article, but I will go over others throughout the next week as we go through. We'll see if we make it through all of them. It depends on how long I have to stream this week. But SCP-9757 is our starting off. The code name is Good Days Only. Now, I am not familiar with a song by the name of Good Days Only. So if that's the song in question, I'm not familiar. But we will find out along the way. We will see what song it was based on as well. I will be trying to guess what songs these are based on if I can tell, just as a little challenge to myself. I am a bit of a music head, so I hope I can at least get one. That's all I want is one, guys. Just one success. And although I want to show you the picture of this and get into the article, a certain puppy of interest wants to say hello first. Little girl. Sweetie Pumpkin. Puppy of interest 42, codename Charlie, is here to say hello. The sweetest pumpkin on SCP Site-42 premises. She is warm and cozy in her little sweater. And now, thanks to you, she has a delightful treat, which she is so thankful for, and getting every last crumb. That is right. Puppy of interest 42, codename Charlie, ate and left no crumbs. She refuses to leave crumbs. It's actually a problem. That's a sweetie girl. All right, away with you, baby girl. And for my allergies, and then we will begin. So, before I can begin reading SCP-9757, codename Good Days Only, I have to start by showing you this photograph, because if you didn't see it yesterday, it is disturbing. This is where your starting line is. This is not going to be great. So, let's take a look at the contest winner, everyone. Item number SCP-9757, Object Class Safe, Special Containment Procedures. 9757 has been physically contained with both components residing within Foundation custody. Well, I love that for us. 9757-1 is held in a secure humanoid containment chamber at Area 179. Further disturbances have been deemed unnecessary. All right, good to know. Not too hard to contain. Love that for a safe class. Less resources to spend. SCP-9757-2 is kept in a waste drainage chamber at Site-79. Its refuse is continually collected within the site's internal plumbing system and later processed for safe disposal. Is this a Series 0 as well? No? It certainly seems like a Series 0. We're doing a 173 spooky statue. There's waste being drained. Okay. While both objects pose no tangible threat to the Foundation's operations, attempts to prevent the -1 from engaging with the -2 have been entirely unsuccessful. Now, just for your reference, the -2 is the horrifying doll sculpture thing that I showed you in that picture. The -1, we don't know what it is yet. But it is the -2 that requires a waste drainage center. Description. SCP-9757 is the relationship between two objects, -1 and -2. -1 is Madison Hahn, age 28, and former resident of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. -1 possesses the ability to consciously remove concepts, memories, and other forms of conscious and subconscious ideation from her active recall. Attempts to reintroduce these concepts following the removal have been entirely unsuccessful, with -1 exhibiting little to no neuroplasticity in relation to concepts that had been previously removed from her mind. So, can consciously remove concepts, memories, or other forms of conscious or subconscious ideation from her recall. Can forget anything the entity wants to forget. Interesting. Now, 9757, I can't, why do I keep saying 95? It's 9757-2 is a painted plastic mannequin resembling an adult woman. Signs and manipulation and subsequent repair can be observed along the torso seam of the figure. Interior analysis has revealed the presence of indeterminate markings carved along the walls of the object's hollow interior. The -2 is the recipient of -1's discarded cognition and serves as a reservoir for each instance of removed ideation. Physical contact with -2 will produce an instinctive acknowledgement of all conceptual materials that have been projected onto it. These ideas are inherently presented in the order that -1 discarded them. -2 presently contains. Okay, and we've got a fairly long list here, people. You know what happens when the SCP has a creepy list. All right, let's see what concepts have been taken out of the -1 entity and placed into this -2 doll. The exhaustion, pain, and emotional turmoil of creating 9757 on September 9th, 2024. A 2015 car accident in which -1 suffered permanent, debilitating nerve damage to her left arm. So, you forgot the car accident. I guess, did that forget the pain? Hope so. The conscious awareness of hyperesthesia in -1's left arm. Okay, maybe that was that. A breakup with -1's significant other that occurred 2 years prior. Okay, we're eternal sunshining ourselves. Good to know. Well, even more than we already were. Over 82 individual memories of dates, outings, and interactions with -1's former significant other. Oh, so they had to go in and, like, Scour each data point. Rough. The death of Dash One's cat, which had occurred 5 years ago. Sad. The conscious acknowledgement of the cat's continued presence in old photographs. So forgot how to notice the cat in the photographs. A verbally abusive interaction with an elderly customer at Dash One's retail job. Okay, fine. An argument with Dash One's supervisor concerning a balancing error at her retail job. So, couldn't protect yourself from the balancing error. Probably forgot about something, made that happen. 37 further individual verbal altercations with family members, parents, siblings, teachers, friends, and significant others from various points in Dash One's life. Dash One's infidelity in her previous relationships, which means if you didn't learn the lesson, you're probably going to do it again. A failing managerial assessment on Dash One significantly decreasing job performance. You're forgetting a lot of things. It's probably causing a lot of problems for you. A loud, indistinct sound Dash One heard outside of her home while trying to sleep. Creepy. Insomnia. You forgot insomnia. Dash One's perception of her own financial security. So now that doesn't even mean worries about your broke. That just means you're not paying attention to your money. That's very bad for you. You got to pay attention to that. Forgetting a twisted ankle. I don't think that heals the ankle, though. The cost of gas. All of us, buddy. 6 previously consumed alcoholic drinks. So then you're going to continue drinking more. The discomfort of a hangover and the discomfort associated with vomiting. Are we all learning the lesson here, people? An online video Dash One had seen depicting the robbery of a gas station. I'm worried that the entity forgot that to protect someone from a crime because then they wouldn't be able to testify against them. Facebook post concerning vacation photos taken by Carlos Manchea and his family, a former classmate of Dash One. So forgetting that you saw someone having a happier life than you. Woof. The chip paint on the walls in Dash One's home. Yes, forget your home is rotting rather than do something about it. The smell of accumulating garbage in Dash One's home. I continue my case. A disagreement between Dash One and her mother over disposing of garbage in their home. You live with your mother. Okay, that's going to make things worse down the line, I'm sure. Dash One's conscious perception of fear, anxiety, and anger. So now you are incapable of feeling afraid, angry, or anxietous. I'm sure that won't cause a problem, like a mental version of that medical condition where you can't feel pain, and therefore you hold your hand on the stove because you can, and you are hereby damaging yourself because you are not paying attention to it. Perception of several active political events in the world, including the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, all conceptualization of Jeffrey Epstein, and incidents concerning the United States Immigrations and Customs Enforcement Agency. So, fuck ICE, fuck the Epstein class, and free Palestine? Is that what I'm getting out of this? A conversation with a coworker concerning numerous tasteless remarks Dash One made during a shift. Why were you such a bitch? And then you forgot that you were told you were a bitch. Cool. Dash One's mandated leave of absence from work. You forgot that you were supposed to take a leave of absence, so are you going to go back in? A commercial advocating for the donation to an organization performing surgery on the cleft lip and palate for children in medically underfunded countries. Why are you forgetting the charity commercial? Killer Nation, a 2007 documentary detailing the history of serial killers in the United States. Were you afraid of the serial killers? Tangent. Intern Rudy and someone else in the chat. The SCP Foundation is meant to be an 18+ community. You have to be 18 to join the site, and the Site 42 Discord and the SCP main Discord, etc. So cursing is welcome. Just don't overdo it, crazy shouting spam in the chat. But yes, foul language is expected when dealing with this fucked up of a shit. A childhood memory of feeling disappointed by receiving a certain gift on -1's 6th birthday. No, sad. A stage intervention for -1's concerning behavior by her closest coworkers. You forgot your intervention. A homeless individual -1 saw while driving to the store. This person is going full McGucket. You never go full Fiddleford McGucket. It's gonna be making Loch Ness monsters robots. Conversation with -1's father about her refusal to visit a sick relative. Oh, man. -1's uncle who was actively receiving medical treatment for a heart attack. So you forgot your uncle. You forgot the argument about going to visit, and then you forgot your uncle. A DoorDash order that had been late by an hour. You forgot the DoorDash order. You are overutilizing this ability. And I say that to fully understanding the SCP Foundation's hypocrisy when it comes to how much amnestics we utilize. You know, we tailor it a little better than this, I like to think, except for those who get addicted. And you know what? That's a risk we have to take, okay? The greater good. Over 7 hours of footage from a variety of television programs and films, varying in length and content, with seemingly no tangible connective tissue other than containing fictionalized depictions of negative, distressing, or emotionally disturbing events. So forgetting anything that makes you sad or upset or anything like that. Attempted psychiatric help organized by -1's mother in response to her distant and disassociated behavior. So, forgot the psych eval. Good work. -1's casual physical assault on her mother for attempting to separate her from -2. -2, the doll, actually hasn't been mentioned in this list to my memory. That's the first time the doll has actually come up. But, ugh. Forgot the concept of guilt, so now you can never feel guilty again. Forgot the concept of negativity. How do you even do that? What does that mean? Are you never going to be negative to someone? Are you going to forget how to negative when someone else negatives you? The sound of police sirens outside of 9757-1's home. -1's interrogation by law enforcement. -1's transference to the Foundation custody. All questions being asked by the Foundation. She then forgot the Foundation. -1's active perception of containment. While -1 is unable to conceptualize the context and active acknowledgement of her living conditions in containment, psychological assessment has determined that -1 displays positive subjective well-being in interactions and remains in good physical health. Since containment, -2 is continually leaked a slurry of odorous, viscous fluid. Physical contact with the substance produced feelings of overwhelming uncertainty and hostility. And the code name is Good Days Only. So yes, very, very, very toxic positivity. Now, wowza. Wowza. Intern OG Anime, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Just checking in the chat before I go into the discussion for a little more intel. This feels like an addiction metaphor. Puppet Boy, I could not agree more. Are you a closeted homosexual man? That depends, Goku. Are you hitting on me? I'm sorry to say you're barking up the wrong tree. I am, in fact, an asexual SCP Foundation researcher. I am not interested. Puppy of interest, you have been so quiet and good during this last story. You have been here for so long and you did not bork. May you have delightful belly rubs for cooperating with your stream behavior. Also, the Containment Hazard Assessment Team wants you to have a treat. Very good, tall baby. Very good, tall baby. Long dog. Did not expect Goku to hit on Sherm today. Well, that's why you made a mistake, intern anime. You see, just because you're asexual doesn't mean you are also not hot as hell. And so, unfortunately, I'm just too attractive for these people. I don't understand it myself, but you know what? They can have fun with their longing. So, Jay Dune says, this is my post for the unofficial music JamCon. I received an excellent Magdalena Bay song, and the inspiration came pretty quickly. I think it's pretty obvious what this is about. I think there's some real horror to be found in burying your head in the sand. Amen that. And the song by Magdalena Bay is called This Is the World, I Made It For You. Obviously, I can't make you listen to that song on stream. The copyright gods would smite me at where I stand. But the link to the song is also in the discussion page of the SCP, so you can check that out. Suffice it to say, yeah, I knew exactly where it was going. It did exactly what I expected, but it did it well. I felt the feels. And so, once again, Jadoon, good work on your JamCon SCP. I will give it the highest of updoots. Now, we are currently approximately 28 minutes into this stream. We have approximately 30 minutes left of general Q&A before I move on to my research for the day. So let me return to chat and check in on the donations that came in during our intro and subject, and then we will move on to general Q&A. Dr. Vera Lovelace, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member, and thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. That way, only 3% of your donation is taken for service fees, as opposed to the 30% of every super chat that YouTube takes. We greatly appreciate you going through the effort. Now, grab yourself a chili dog on your way past the commissary, and let me read you out. You know how you only recently found out that put out to pasture meant terminate? I looked into it, and it turns out that since your tenure began, there have been a lot of person of interest and members of staff that security have put out to pasture on what they assumed were your orders. I thought it was just like putting the dog out in the yard. I thought you had to let them outside for a little bit. And then they come in from the pasture. I didn't think put out to pasture meant they stayed out in the pasture. Why would I think that? You all have a terrible meaning of this name. There are so many ways better to say kill them off. I didn't say send them to a farm upstate. Come on. Cypher's Girl, thank you for your 11 months as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hi, Dr. Sherman. I'm in your walls again. I have your pens. I have plenty of pens. Also, you have fallen directly into my trap. The innards of my walls are now a labyrinth of which there is no escape. The Minotaur will find you soon. You are shocked that I've understood your plans and planned ahead, in fact, with my own plans? Well, your shock will lead to your demise. Researcher Carl, thank you for your first member message. Thank you, or no, first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Oh, just real quick, I will answer your donation, but intern Kaitoxi. The doggo that we visit is Puppy of Interest, otherwise known as POI. Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie. Charlie without an E at the end, and a heart over the I. The sweetest pumpkin at Site 42. Now, Carl, you said, booyah! Feeling good. No security breaches today. I have a feeling it's going to be an amazing, perfectly safe day. Why would you say that? You said the exact thing that makes the containment breach happen. It's like a code phrase. I'll keep an eye out, security. 100 stars. Thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will strive to achieve the other 3 stars to be a 5-star chat. Aoki, thank you for sending also a star for the Containment Hazard Assessment team. And Amy Ellswick, thank you for sending a star. You've made them a 4-star Containment Hazard Assessment team. They're almost a 5-star team. And then Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they feel the love. Good work, Sleeping Dragon. You made them a 6-star Containment Hazard Assessment team. You've gone over the limit. They're back to a 1-star team. They got to do it again. You can't go more than 5 stars. Intern Tundra, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a chicory coffee on your way past the commissary. I trap Lupin the Third. If you search, it's an anime. Oh, trust me. I am an old head of the anime con communities. I am familiar with Senor Lupin. I guess Monsieur Lupin would be more appropriate. Suffice it to say, yeah, good luck with that. That tricky bastard is almost as hard to capture as the Doctor. I hope the best for your chances. Although I don't think Lupin is actually anomalous. So at least Foundation staff has no reason to contain Lupin the Third. That is a non-anomalous burglar. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Denver omelet on your way past the commissary. How is your and Desk's day? I hope it is a good day. Well, so far it's a good day. I believe Desk is having a fine day as well, to my knowledge. Intern Natha, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a boba tea on your way past the commissary. Does 049 know any math, like calculus? If so, maybe he... It's an it. SCP-049 is an it, not a he, not a she. It is an it. All anomalies in containment are objects, which means they are not people. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. If so, maybe it can tutor me on that, as long as it doesn't think I'm sick. I am not familiar with SCP-049's grasp of mathematics. That has not been a focus of our research. Although I would imagine there are quite a lot of formulas that 049 goes through in its medications and zombifications. So perhaps it does have a mathematical aptitude. But our tutors at the Academy for Cadets are far more qualified and less likely to murder you. So let's just stick with the human teachers. Oh, a lot has happened here. So 1, 2... Thank you, Nevmus, for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Scared Gamer for sending a 3rd. Amber for sending a 4th. Aoki for sending a 5th. So we're at 5. Wait, how many stars were we at before?
1.
We were at 1 star at the start. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Amber was 5 stars. 6 bringing us back to 1. That's Aoki. 7, Sleepless Dragon has us at 7. 8, 9, 10. That brings us down to 1 again for the next Sleepless Dragon star. Then Kaitoxi sent a star. That's 12, 13, 14. We're currently at 14 stars, which is 4 again. So congratulations, Aoki. You have sent the 5th star. You are now a 5-star chat. You should send other gifts than stars unless you want to start the battle again. Please don't start the battle again. That was a lot of counting. Dance teachers only know how to count to 8. Katoxi, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Star. Dr. John Smith, thank you for sending a pinata to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Make sure to keep it away from children. Enkiest, thank you for sending floating hearts to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love 5 times as much right now. 5 times as much love. I can't believe that our collaboration with YouTube's algorithm got us a child breaker emote in the chat. That is insanity. That we have an SCP-963, not 963, 958, 953? What number is the child breaker? Suffice it to say, it is nuts that YouTube gave us this. It is absolutely crazy that we can put the child breaker in the chat. Yet another reason why the SCP community needs to be 18 plus, because any children in the chat will be broken when people send a child breaker. 956, that's the one. Thank you, desk. Unintended Unexpected, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. And since you didn't send a message, thank you for your generosity. Grab yourself a turducken on your way past the commissary. Panevma, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some pineapple upside-down cake on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. I've been studying the anomaly that is called the Infinity Train. It's hard to contain. Any suggestions? Well, at first, monitor the situation. We do have SCP-5320, the infinite fish, the long boy that just goes on forever. Praise be to its long, long name. May we find the head or the tail. Amen. Let's get drunk at work. And so you got to monitor those infinite anomalies until you find an end, or until you find a way to keep people away from it. By the way, keep people away from it. Blue Phantom, thank you for sending 4 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team, followed by a 5th star. We're back to a 5-star ranking. Good job. You didn't overshoot. Aoki, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team, as well as chili. I am sure they will enjoy the spiciness and the sparkleness. Blue Phantom, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will use it to purchase wares that will be useful for their quest. Dr. Sherman, I'm getting the plush. You know what that means. Intern Elswick, I do not know what that means. But your excitement fills me with fear and dread. Wait, if some of the SCPs are infinite, how do they not just loop around the Earth forever? Intern Unknown, that is part of our research, is wondering why that isn't the case, because if it was truly infinite, it would just overtake the entire planet. So of the multiple infinite anomalies, there's always got to be some sort of spatial anomaly to stop them from overlapping everything on the planet. And that is what we are researching, as well as the anomaly itself. Katoxi, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Blue Phantom, thank you for sending 5 more stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They remain a 5-star team. Very tricky. Doc, we're doing insane things to the plushie in the Discord shitpost chat. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, dear Lord. What is happening in the Site 42 Discord right now? What? Uh, that's so much. All right. Well, side quest. All right, starting with I am the Sherm. Very Mufasa of me. Uh, apparently I am the enemy in this horror game that I don't recognize. Terrifying. Wait, it's all Sherm? Always has been. Believe it. I don't recognize that entity, but I like the cut of its jib. He's charging up his silly. Give him a sec. There's not a single thought inside his head. Rat. Strawberry. Kitty. There's one wolf inside you. One wolf. You have zero personality. All you do is send pictures of Sherm. Holy moly! This one's for the lesbians. I don't know why. I guess they appreciate my dope fly color streaks. My daughter loves him. I think he looks a little gay, but whatever makes my princess happy. You know, I get that a lot. It's just the theater kid syndrome, guys. What puberty did to me. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. This is me, by the way, if you even care. People don't even say bless you anymore. They just look at you like this. Look at it! Please, I swear I didn't put explosives around your house at 3:31 a.m. while you were sleeping. Of course, he would never. That damn smirk. You know it. Dreams work face all the way. And we're back. On to the next shitpost meme. Absolute Shermana. Oh no. Shermana, isn't that where a bunch of people are fighting to the death? And a lot of them are very afraid and very hungry of sorts? Eminem, how dare you? How dare you throw the blushy? Slim Shady knew I. Oh no. The Sherm is soup. Did you want some soup? Do you like him? Who is this twink? Excuse me. I need to find inspiration for D&D monsters. Oh, this SCP thing looks cool. Wah. That do be how it happens sometimes. Oh no, you started making videos? What are you? What is this? Okay, that's not that. But this is. Why are they violent? Got him. Got him. Ah, you timey-wimey bastard. You remember me because I nearly captured you. And one day, when you're not ready, I will succeed. And this is that time I met a certain celebrity.
Oh, another iteration. Another timey-wimey bastard to contain. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You better run and lift him high upon the light, so that maybe his blessedness will not capture you so soon. As you can see, when I tried to contain that certain celebrity, it did not go as planned, unfortunately. But there are always new friends to make and take baths with. Yes, floor time. Floor time, very restful. What have you done to your phone? What have you done? Oh no! Get out of the way, Larry! It's time for Radical Sherm! Yeah! Oh no! I'm being digested because I'm so sweet. That's it. Abel, I think we're gonna have to kill this guy. Sweet. No! No! How? Honestly, how did we get this far without this happening? Now that I think about it. It really is shocking we got this far without this being, huh. And it's over! Congratulations, Site42 Discord. That was perplexing, but I'm sure, to someone out there, amusing. All right, I'm returning to the chat. We have T-minus 15 minutes remaining on this stream. Razor, intern Razor, thank you for your first 2 donations to today's stream. Grab yourself a plate of waffles on your way past the commissary. One question. I'm going to answer both of your supers, but this is a fun question I want to answer. Intern Nulono, what's the difference between coffee break and office hours? How long the stream is. A coffee break is going to be 90 minutes or less. An office hours is going to be 91 minutes to 3 hours typically. Some streams go a little longer if there's extenuating circumstances. Now, Razor, how would Arayashiki Limbus be contained? It's just a sword, so it should be safe, but not sure since it's so destructive. All right, so let's look at Aryashiki Limbus. Aryashiki Limbus sword. What do you do? So that is the person Arya, but I want the sword. The sword is revealed to be titled Aryashiki. There we go. I found the sword. Okay. Appearance, personality, mirror worlds. I thought it was a sword. Why does it have a personality? Where's the sword? What does it do? Right now, I'm trying to find the intel for what this thing does. Okay. Terry carries around a sheath Odachi on her back with the words, yeah, yeah, yeah. In Mirror World, she typically wields a separate weapon. Hilt is golden, decorated butterfly pattern. Changes appearance, now being white with a red string. I don't see what the sword does on this many wikis that I'm looking for to... All right, I'm coming back to the chat. Has Razor said anything about what the sword does by chance? In the meantime, I'll check your other one. Give us the deets on the Sherm containment procedures because that horrifying thing must be a Keter or Polygon. Ugh. Listen, the only way to contain this thing properly is if we are able to split its essence among enough Sherm plushies and contain them in separate people's homes so that they do not fuse into one again and wreak havoc upon the populace. You need to get your Dr. Sherman plushie from the link in the VOD or the link in the chat as soon as possible. Otherwise, we don't know what they could do. Contain one in your home today. Do your duty to the Foundation. All right, Razor, thank you for filling us in. Cuts through anything but cuts through a random memory of the wielder in its place. TLDR, things that are cut are erased at a conceptual level by the sword. Well, good news is that it's safe, so we can just contain it. Put it in a box, that's cool. Now, we could also... I am sure the Foundation would like to erase several concepts from reality if we could. In fact, I would not bet against us trying to find something that could stand in for the concept of the anomalous, thereby inducing a quiet days scenario. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation super chat of today's stream. Second donation. Okay, normal, good. Enjoy your commissary meal. Someone decorated the tree with your plushies. Well, I'm glad they enjoy the sight of them so much as to have multiple of them around. Unfortunately, 4521 won't scream to those. We tried that with the first edition plushie. I doubt the second edition will do the job. Unintended, unexpected. Thank you for donating again to say. One more time because you're my favorite. Well, thank you so much for your generosity. I'm happy to put some good vibes out in the universe for you and the rest of the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Wandering by the books. Serpent's Hand member. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. I'm glad you're on our side, double agent. Grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary. If you ask the coffee machine for coffee without specifying brand or anything further, is the coffee good? I don't remember the brand that 294 dispenses typically. If it just doesn't steal the nearest coffee that is brewed. It looks like we do not have a record of what brand of coffee is dispensed. My assumption is it just takes from the nearest coffee that is available. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's with the queer hair? Intern Guga. What makes having colors in your hair any sort of LGBTQIA or any other letter of the alphabet? It's just a hair color. Why are you so insecure? It looks fly as hell. Don't you want to look fly as hell? Weird children. I gotta say, it's a shame. 100 stars. Thank you for sending sparkles and a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will enjoy the sparkles as they return to a 1-star status. Lanny the Demon Angel, thank you for reminding me of your Ko-Fi. I don't even know if I saw that notification. Lanny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself some ambrosia salad on your way past the commissary. Hi, recently escaped from Containment SCP here to remind you that the Xbox 360 is now a retro console. Have fun. Yes, thanks for your public service announcement. You bench. Blue Phantom, thank you for sending 4 stars to return the Containment Hazard Assessment Team to a 5-star status. I am sure they appreciate your rectification of the scenario. Dr. Sherman, I have a question. Intern Monica, now that I have seen this, it's not guaranteed I'll see your question, though. You should have just asked your question. Terrible strategy. You got to be careful with that. I never know if I'll see you again. Everyone's talking in the chat. You don't contain it. It contains you. From the Discord, these images go back so far. So apparently I must have missed some Sherm plush memes. That is horrifying. Discord server, you are crushing it. And by it, I mean my bravery. So we have the worst best friends club that would never ever exist, and how dare you photo. It's a very cool first edition plushie to go with the second edition plushie. That's a better best friends. You could do this instead. Sheesh. Ah, my face. Furthermore, it is possible to tame SCP-096 if you give it the plushie. Also, when day broke, we know how to solve that. Ah, science! You are now the playthings to me. The Shermpocalypse. See, this is why you have to keep them in separate houses, so they don't get together and do this. All right, maybe his might is a little too powerful. This is what we're going to do to researcher Christopher Burns. I dig it. I dig it. If you ever feel safe, just know I'm out there. And you won't anymore. Why you smiling? Ain't nothing to smile about. Too real. Too real. Come down and play with them. Bum, bum, bum. There are a lot of these. We are running through them. If you ever feel safe, just know I'm out there. Ain't nothing to smile about. He's only 3 apples tall. Face like, I'm gonna push one of my employees into a meat grinder. Hey, that's my job, and I'm good at it. When you're sad but you fit hard, you know all day. Yep, they don't say bless you, they just look at you with the DreamWorks face. Can you walk the fuck in? Damn well better. Ah, yes. Evil and sexy face. Very good. I'm afraid there's another video. Ah, we're going through all the memes in a compilation. They are delightful. You are correct. Whoever changed your name to Purebred, you do not deserve this power. Ever dream this man? Yes. Don't dream about it. Yep, that's exactly where it deserves to be. It's coming for you. There is no escape. Your chances of getting contained by a Sherm are low, but never zero. Here go Mr. Shits and Giggles on his BS again. Dear period cramps, leave her alone. Sorry I had to see that, ladies. I just go so passionate about feminism. Stupid dumb idiot corner. He looks so microwavable. Don't call me Pookie. I'm gangsta. I have hired this redacted to stare at you. Redactedly. Live Sherm reaction. Can I come over and stare at you like this? How? Have you seen him? Now you have. You've got the Sherm syndrome. Instead of brain, there is only Sherm. All right, there are far too many of these. And I need to go to work. So, we will have to come back to this at a future time. Let me get the last minute donations I might have missed. Oh dear God, what are you all doing? How many is that? There's too many! I can't even close the Discord. There's too many Sherms. All right. There are no more donations. And also, people, reminder, Fan Art Friday is always a short stream, which means I don't have time to go over as many memes as we have right now. And so, it might be a problem if you are trying to send these to Fan Art Friday. We might not be able to get through them all in one Friday. I got to think about what we do about that. Whoa. All right. But for now, Site 42 staff, I have to get to work, which means this is the end of stream. And as we do at the end of stream, we talk about my favorite SCPs. I'm going to tell them to you, but I'm not going to say they're the ones I wrote. That would be cheating. But you can read the ones I wrote at the Sherm's author page and Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There, you can find the SCPs I personally wrote or contributed voice lines to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over is a list of links. Links that I can see some of you talking about in the Containment Hazard Assessment team right now. And yet, I wonder if you will be clever enough to find said links. I wonder. And also, while you're at those links, you can become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, we appreciate your direct donations. They are the quickest way to help Site 42 stay afloat for myself and the rest of the Site 42 staff. You may also get the Dr. Sherman plushie for the next 11 days. Get it before the memes are done so you can meme yourself some memes. And we thank you if you were able to purchase merch to support the channel as well. And if you can't do either donations or merch purchases, do not fret, because you can still be a valued member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, clip us, make edits, do memes, share them in the public. Don't just share them in Discord servers, share them around. And you do the same thing for the SCP projects we support. The SCP authors' tales and SCP articles, or the artists of the SCP Wiki. You go off site and you do the filmmakers, the game devs, the anime makers, the animators, the merch makers, the podcasters. You help us with these memes and edits and clips, spread them far and wide on social medias. You are helping us to bring more people into the SCP fandom, and that gets us to be able to support these SCP projects, both with engagement and funding, which makes them want to stay here. So I thank you, Mobile Task Force Psi-42 codename Signal Boosters, for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SB5031, SB5175, SB5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 399930430008 J Spooky J50315175528980. Content warning on the last one. It's a rough read. So, Site 42 staff, this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Intern Braden, thank you for sending sunshine to the chat. I'm sure it brightened their day. I thought I had it all together, but I was led astray the day you walked away. You were the clock that was ticking in my heart, changed my state of mind. With love so hard to find, your feelings change like the weather. Went from clear to gray on that cloudy day. How can I go on without falling apart? Love so hard to find. Someone's on your mind. Listen, baby, your wish is my command. Baby, won't you understand that your wish is my command? What can I do to make my baby understand? The credit song is Baby I'm Yours by Breakbot. I thought it might be a good jam for This Is My JamCon. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect. We'll see you in the next video or stream.